Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3 guys. Let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. Happy Wednesday is Humpty Wednesday. And you know what? I want to get right into today's topic. The media. The media, the lies. You won't believe the lies that the media is basically saying and putting out there about Carmelo Anthony and his family and his case. And it needs to stop. I think that is poor and weak journalism, poor and weak content creating, just for clicks and views. And you could get the clicks and views by not lying. So that's the main topic tonight. Also, I want to start off talking about Wallo, honey, because black people, black Twitter, black culture want to cancel Wallo for speaking the truth. I agree with him. I agree with Wallo. And he didn't say anything that was basically off cold. But honey, they dragged his ass. And thank you guys for being here. Please share this video, like this video, share it on all your social media outlets. If you will like to support, you can send in a super chat or cash app and be in that comment section, guys. Yeah, share, like, and let's get into it. So last night I had a marathon on X. Every Tuesday, Judge Joe Brown holds an X space, and I just help him facilitate, but it's his X space. And we were up there for 6 hours. We usually only do three from 9 to midnight. And we didn't end to 3 a.m. in the morning, a little after 3 in the morning. And I had to literally say that's enough because I was burnt out by that time. The numbers kept going up. The requests to speak kept going up. We could have held that space into the crack of dawn, but I got tired and I had to wake up early in the morning, take my car back to the car shop and go get my hair done. And then this afternoon, I ended up crashing. And I wasn't going to really do a live show, but I'm like, I'm going to do it. It's not going to be long today. And I said, I want you guys to help me out. I'm going to drop the link, the Restream link. It's not a phone number, it's just a link. So if you want to come up, click the link. You won't not be on camera, it's just be your voice. So it's just be like if you're calling in. So anyway, we held the space. We was talking about conflict resolution, i.e. hashtag Carmelo Anthony. Yes, I need to call him Wallo or Tether. I'm about to get into it. Um, and I had black people, white people, all types of people, and I loved it. And also, we got censored in England over in the UK. The UK people, they couldn't listen to my space. It wasn't available to them. Somebody came up on a space and said a friend of his that live in the UK can't listen. And another friend of mine that I know that lives out there, he was like, I can't get in. It's saying space unavailable. So, but we was talking about conflict resolution. Something has to be done, especially when we're talking about our youth, our teenagers, our young adults. Texas had a shooting at a high school. He was 17. He was black. It's not about race, but it's usually a face of a white person. And now it's not because everybody, I don't know what is going on with the teenagers, are going through something, right? Going through something that needs to be addressed. Um, and then tomorrow, me and a judge, when we record his episode Injustice for All, I want to talk about the case that's going on in Texas that's similar to Carmelo Anthony. I have to gather my information for that. So I'm not going to talk about that tonight. So the X space last night, it was a good X space. It got heated at times. I really appreciate everybody that listened, that came up to speak. But that's where the conversation needs to go, conflict resolution, not constantly calling Carmelo Anthony a murderer. Yes, he did something, his actions, and it resulted in another young boy dying. He's going to have to live with that. But he deserves due process. You are innocent before you are, what is it? You are innocent before proven guilty or some mess until you are proven guilty. And he deserves a fair trial. Now, the lies that were coming up saying, well, he using a GoFundMe to buy a Cadillac, to buy a home in a gated community, all lies. All lies. It's not true. It's not true. So you know what? How about I do get into I'm gonna get into the Wallo. And guys, just bear with me because I'm still tired from yesterday. Oh, this is what I really wanted to start off with. Your boy, Joe Biden. And my thing is, I don't know where he was at. I don't care. I don't think nobody really cares. He needs to stay silent. And the more he talks, the more this man talks, the more we all should be thankful for Trump. Yes, we should. So he was at some Democrat function. Joe Biden is spending his first speech since leaving office saying he didn't have to grow up around Black people. I remember watching a bus go by. It was full of colored kids. I have never seen those. This is what he said. But you still got your dancing Negroes and Hispanics and white folk who are liberals and stone cold Democrats who are out here trying to trash the Trump administration for this.
And I'd never seen hardly any Black people in Scranton at the time and I was only going in the 4th grade. And I remember seeing the kids going by at the time called colored kids on a bus going by.
Called colored kids? First of all, you are too old and you're supposed to be so intelligent to use that type of language. We all know Black people were called colored back then or Negro. And I'm sorry, he could have worded it a different way or just not say it at all. Just not say it at all. So this is the guy that y'all miss. This is the man that you wanted a repeat for a second term, who had a VP who was not qualified to be president of the United States. Yeah. So I just wanted to share that to start it off. These people, the Democrats, are the gift that keeps on giving.
I'd never seen hardly any Black people in Scranton at the time and I was only going in the 4th grade. And I remember seeing the kids going by at the time called colored kids on a bus going by. And I had never seen
called colored kids. Oh my God, you can't make that up. You can't make it up. Yeah. All right. So I want to scroll to Wallo, right? So this is the video. This is the video that went viral. It looks like he was probably at a Earn Your Leisure event. I don't know, but it was, like a seminar. And he was talking about Black businesses, right? And we all know Wallo, he did, I think, 20 years in prison, came home, self-made millionaire, doing a damn thing, rose himself up, right? And I don't disagree with him, but apparently a lot of people got offended with his remarks.
Us. Oh, I'm Black. Oh, Black people. Nobody gives a fuck about that. Kill that shit. Either you got a good business or you don't. All that shit, don't nobody want to hear that shit. That's a hustle. Support me because I got a Black business. Is your restaurant clean? Is the food good? Do you got consistent cooks? Is the material of your shit good? Stop doing that. Oh, you support the white people? No, I support consistency, baby. Yeah. Well, fuck about what color you is. I'm gonna spend my money. That paper, I'm gonna spend them millions where the fuck I want to spend it at. Whether it's Porsche, Ferrari, Lamborghini, I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do while I'm here. But I'm gonna tell you one thing, I ain't gonna be finessed off some Black shit. But one thing about it, 70% of you motherfuckers is not going to make it. I'm not no motherfucking fake ass motivational speaker that talk this dumb shit. I'm the #1 nigga in the country. You know why? Y'all seen me come out of the penitentiary. I make millions and I make millionaires, baby. You understand me? I come from the ghetto.
So here's the thing. I can tell you what I don't like. You don't have to do all that cursing. Too many F's, too many MFs. It's not necessary. It's not necessary. But he's right. Black people do finesse people, whether they're black, white, or whatever. But let's just focus on Black Americans. Just because you have a Black business doesn't mean that I'm automatically going to give you 5 stars, that I'm going to automatically tip your workers 20%, that I'm automatically going to give you a glowing review, right? If the service is not good. Like, come on. You do have a lot of mom and pop restaurants. I grew up in North New Jersey. There was always a blustering of mom and pop businesses, restaurants, but they always had good service, which is why they stayed in business for so long. The problem was when you start seeing that fading, the kids or the grandkids didn't want to step in and keep it going, or lack of bad management. See, it's about taking accountability no matter what color you are. If you are doing good business and if you know good business, then it will flourish. And he's right. 70% of people are not going to make it. It doesn't mean that you're going to be homeless or a bum or a complete failure, but any type of business, if you call yourself an entrepreneur, but any type of business that you are creating, you're going to end up failing. It's hard. Or can you turn a profit and keep a profit growing after 5 years? So I don't think he was talking down. He was just being realistic. And people need reality, that people need a serious reality check when it comes to doing business. And there are a lot of Black businesses that are shit. Just like there are a lot of Asians, Chinese, Indians, white, Hispanic. They don't have there are businesses with those people that are not good either. So, and I always say this, I don't do tribalism. I don't. I'm not from the continent of Africa nowhere. I don't do tribalism. Because when you do tribalism, you are not taking accountability, or you feel as though I'm not going to criticize or critique my fellow Black brother or sister. No, because just because we the same skin color doesn't mean that you are going to support me. Adam Clayton Powell once said, a Black snake will bite you just as quick as a white snake, right? Because a snake is a snake. And you cannot do good business with bad people. And bad people comes in all shades. However, he got a lot of damn backlash. And Tariq Nasheed, oh my God, he tweeted out, this was 10 hours ago, where is Wallo's family from? And honey, the comment section went crazy. You had a whole bunch of people. Anyone that doesn't agree with you is a tether. That's a lot of projecting based on a question. You had a lot of people in here dragging Wallo. And so here go Minister Jab. He is a tether. Some people saying he is from Philly and there is nothing cool about him. Why, when Black people have a different perspective, yada, 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 right? But then it comes up that his cousin, Gilly, he is Ethiopian. He has an Ethiopian background, right? It's not wrong with that. But one thing about Wallo and Gilly, they are for Black Americans. Like, they're down. So they don't do that tether tribalism back to Africa mess. Yeah. And so everything started coming up about Gilly and Wallo background, honey. They even found a picture of Wallo and his mama. He is FBA. This person said his mom is definitely FBA. The last name Peoples, that's Scottish slave ancestry, but not sure about his dad. Gilly definitely Ethiopian. You can see that by his head alone. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry. You can hear me? I had to reconnect the audio, but it automatically mutes me. Sorry about that. Thank you. So he was getting a lot of backlash from Black Twitter, and Twitter X, aka X is okay. Here we go. X is very. It could be very toxic. It's brutal, especially when they're trying to drag you. Yes. Why y'all keep saying sound down? It's good now. It's good. Okay, here we go. Okay. All right. Oh, okay, maybe a slight delay. But X can be very toxic. Very toxic. And you have to have a thick skin. And I know that you as an individual, you cannot win against the internet. You got to sometimes just let the shit ride out. And I am a media personality person. I know people drag me on my own channel. Gotta just let it ride out. So anyway, I say all that to say, just because I'm Black and you're Black doesn't mean that I'm going to do business with you. That doesn't mean that I'm going to like the quality of your product. Because if it's not good quality, I don't care who you are. I'm not buying it. I'm not going to give you a good review. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to give you some criticism. I'm going to give some real feedback. And I do that across the board. We do need more businesses. We do need more entrepreneurs. We do need more scientists and doctors and lawyers and all this good stuff. But you have to come correct. You have to. All right. Now, let's get into actually, let me put the link here in my guest. So I'm going to pin the restream link. Join the show. I say call in because I'm not going to show you guys face. This is a restream. I still haven't figured out the phone lines. Pin. I haven't figured out the phone lines yet. But if you want to click the restream, your face will not be up here. It'll just be your voice. So if you want to join in the conversation, because I want to swing into now the Carmelo Anthony and the lies that the media is saying, right? Here we go. That's better. So some of these media personality people I do follow and I like their content. But it's funny because when it comes to a black person, a black person, you kind of see the true colors of individuals who are non-black. So Benny Johnson, honey, he has over 2 million subscribers on YouTube and over 1 million on X. And I was disappointed to see how he's cultivating his content talking about the Carmelo Anthony situation. Calling him a killer. Yes, he did kill somebody. But a killer is someone who kills intentionally and more than once as well. He didn't mean to kill him. That wasn't his intention. But nevertheless. So he says breaking. Killer Carmelo Anthony is now staying at a $900,000 home in a luxury gated community. Even though his family had requested the judge to lower his bond due to financial issues, neighbors are saying they aren't comfortable living by him. Murderers being rewarded. Well, that's not true. It's not true at all. Number one, The bond was lowered not because of the family having financial issues. The bond was lowered because it was significantly high for this type of case. He had no priors. 250 is fair. And I believe 250 or around that amount, or probably less, was the same for Daniel Penny and Kyle Rittenhouse. And they were able to raise over $1 million. And that majority came from 99% came from white people. And they killed somebody. Now they claim self-defense. They went through a trial, a fair one, and won. So why, when it's Carmelo Anthony, a teenager, and mind you, it was another teenager that died, why is he not extended that same type of treatment or fairness? His family did not buy a $900,000 home. His family actually already had money. They were business owners. They were professionals. They were high earners. 2 parents. Now, most likely they're renting the home because of security reasons. And I'm going to get into the judge as well that lowered his bail doing her job, who was a registered Republican. The FBI is now investigating threats that she is receiving. And the media, I'm going to say, is causing a lot of the, high threats against Carmelo Anthony, his family, and the judge. We do have a justice system. We do have due process. So that is not true. And TMZ, and I'm going to bring that article up, they debunked that is not true. He did not use the GoFundMe, it was over $400,000 now, to buy a home or a Cadillac. Like Rob Smith, they call him the gay Republican. He's another one who has a large following. Oh my God, what is going on? Oh, stop. I hate when people lying. Mike lost. Check your connection. Rob Smith, Carmelo Anthony, the scammer and murderer, renting 900K home in gated community, bought 3 cars, is still raising money off Austin McCaff murder. And I don't want to say, so what? He has every right to have a GoFundMe, just like everybody else. Because honestly, Daniel Penny should have been found guilty, at least on 2nd degree manslaughter, not even manslaughter or something. But this it's not about Daniel Penny.
Well, Carmelo Anthony, the murderer and scammer, is now scamming in a $900,000 house. This is from a story in the New York Post, which says that despite getting his bail lowered from $1 million to $250,000 because of, quote, financial difficulties, Carmelo Anthony and his family have not only moved into a $900,000 home in a luxurious gated community, but they've also gone car shopping. This is from the Post. It is basically saying that he lives in that $900,000 home in a luxurious gated community. And it said, according to the New York Post reporting, it had a white Suburban, a black Acura, and a 3rd sedan in the driveway on Tuesday. And again, that is actually from the Daily Mail, not the New York Post. But man, a neighbor told the family that Carmelo Anthony just bought a new ride because, when you're a 17-year-old kid and you kill another teenager, now's the time to flex off of all of your scammy fundraising money.
So let me pause it right there. And that's what I mean, media. And I'm sorry, yes, podcasts, we are the new media. YouTube content creators, we are the new media. Legacy media they're still going strong, honey, but they ain't popping. Because you have Jason Whitlock, fat ass. You have Megyn Kelly's, the Benny Johnsons. We are the new media. It's just that, again, just like CNN, Crying Negro Network, MSNBC, that push a lot of lies and create false narratives. Now, this is actually the New York Post. that he's talking about. Carmelo Anthony, living with family in 900K home in a gated community, bought new car after release on bond. First of all, that is not true. The home where rent is estimated to be $3,500 a month. And we're going to get into Letitia ass tomorrow. The home where rent is estimated to be $3,500 a month had a white Suburban, a black Acura, and a third sedan in the driveway on Tuesday, according to the outlet. Okay, who said, what is this? Who said that they bought a Suburban and an Acura? Where are these people getting this from? He got a new car, and this is the nosy ass residents. He got a new car. The resident told the outlet, if you look at the license plates, it's got a paper tag and it says it expires June the 4th. That doesn't mean he himself got a new car. Richwood is about a mile from Centennial High School, where Anthony went to school and ran track. Residents in a gated community were allegedly unaware the family was living at the home until Anthony was released Monday. So I guess this is the Richmond Woods gated community. It is very important for this young man to be safe, whether you like it or not. You don't have to like it. You could, and listen, I have a problem with what he did. I have a problem with that. I'm not, condoning the actions that he took, but he is saying self-defense, and the trial has not started. The grand jury is not going to take place until June, and judge already broke it down and said this trial is not going to start until maybe next year, because you have to get all the evidence and from the defense and the prosecutor's DA office. It doesn't work overnight like that. So let's go back to what else he is saying.
A neighbor said the family had just bought a new ride. He just got a new car, the resident told the outlet. If you look at the license plate, it's got a paper tag and says it expires June 4th. Again, Black people, are you going to continue to get scammed by Carmelo Anthony and all of the people that are around him that are making the case of a 17-year-old Black teenager who, by the way, killed another teenager, Austin Metcalf? He killed the kid. And now he is being made out to seem like some sort of civil rights activist. The EBT crowd is in my mentions, and they're about free Carmelo. They got the black fist and the symbol. So this, Black people, this is who you ride for. This is your hero. This is your celebrity. This is the person that you're going to give money to. I think that Carmelo Anthony and the people around him know exactly how stupid the EBT crowd that's supporting Carmelo Anthony.
Whoa. Did he say the EBT crowd? Really? So now you're telling me that the Black people that donated to Carmelo Anthony are welfare recipients, are the low grade in the low socioeconomic bracket. Really? The EBT crowd? And see, this is why we have to watch certain Negroes, certain colors, certain tethers when they talk slick about Black Americans and Black culture. And I said this last night on the damn X Space. So I love to hear from everyone from all walks of life. Everybody has a right to free speech, freedom of press. But when you say something sideways, especially when it's not true, I'm going to correct you.
Anthony is And they know that once this video footage comes out, and there are rumors about what the video footage says, but once this video footage comes out, it will probably be the end of the gravy train. So, like many a BLM scammer before them, like many a race hustling scammer before them, oh, in the grand tradition of Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton and all of the other race hustlers that have come forth throughout American history, you know, the team around Carmelo Anthony is just walking in the footsteps of the great race hustlers of America. I think that it's the gravy train is going to end quite soon for these folks. I will be glad it does. I'll be glad when it does. But until then, Black people, do you ever get tired of being hustled, scammed, and played by race hustlers? The answer seems to be no.
All right.
Out the
So this goofy here, now when he says the race hustlers, the Al Sharptons, I get it. You know, Al Sharptons and people like him, they are race hustlers. But this isn't the case. This has nothing to do with Al Sharpton or the Ben Crumps or any of that. Matter of fact, the Al Sharptons, Roland Martin, Ben Crump, Jasmine Crockett, none of them have mentioned anything about the Carmelo Anthony case. Why is that? Why is that? Now, okay, Jasmine Crockett, a politician, and she don't want to make it politicize it. I get it. But Roland Martin, he's in media. He has his own media corporation, business. Has not mentioned it once. Al Sharpton, that's what you do. You make sure, well, you're supposed to make sure Black people get a fair trial, that they are fairly heard, that they're not being threatened, whether they're right or wrong, due process. He hasn't said shit, at least not to my knowledge. So Al Sharptons and the Ben Crumps and whoever else, they don't have nothing to do with the GoFundMe. Actually, it was somebody outside of the family, because I don't think the family's even thinking about a damn GoFundMe, the parents. But it had to be probably someone the family knew started it, because yes, he needs funds for defense. Where's your video, Rob Smith, on Daniel Penny? Over $1 million. On Kyle Rittenhouse. And this is before the not guilty verdict. See, we didn't know what the verdict was going to come out. The trial didn't even start. They didn't even have a grand jury either, but they raised $1 million for both of those white guys. Was that scamming? Did white people get scammed out their money? So why is it Black people? And then the audacity to say EBT Black people. Are you kidding me? And you know what? And yeah, he is a tether. And people gotta understand, see, you could be a Black immigrant and not be a tether, because you are down with Black American culture. You're not talking negative about it or pushing back against it. Tethers are non-Black Americans, immigrants who are Black, that talk down and talk shit about Black Americans and Black culture. They are against us. They're not for us. And I think if we dig deeper in his background, he probably is a tether. But nevertheless, it's not just him. It is the Benny Johnson. It is the Macon Kellys. It is the Jason Whitlock. It is the Daily Mail. It is the New York Post that's trying to create a narrative of Carmelo Anthony to being a monster, trying to taint the jury pool. But see, by next week, I don't think Carmelo Anthony is going to be trending anymore, because grand jury is not going to take place until June. We ain't going to keep talking about Carmelo Anthony because he's on house arrest. Ain't nothing new going to come out unless they drop a video. That's why they're making this whole thing about race, so that it can trend and we could generate some type of content and make money. But we're not going to be talking about Carmelo Anthony next week. No, we're not. Unless something else comes out. But this case, nothing isn't happening until the grand jury, which is not going to take place until June, maybe July. The actual trial is not going to take place until 2026. which is why you need to set up your defense, your evidence. He may do time, most likely, but it's not going to be for capital murder or first degree, and maybe not even second degree. See, that's all part of the due process. Now, TMZ debunked the bullshit. Carmelo Anthony not using moolah for fundraiser, even after teens satisfied 250K bail. Now, mind you, if you have a 250K bail, I think you have to put 5 or 10% down. Carmelo Anthony has not withdrawn funds from his nearly 450,000 Give Send Go fundraiser, even after he walked free from the slammer. Jacob Wells, co-founder of the popular crowdsourcing platform, tells TMZ no funds have been distributed as the company received clarity from the campaign recipient on use of funds so that the people that have given can be confident in how their donations is being used. The revelation comes while folks question how Anthony satisfied his 250K bond, which a judge reduced from 1 million, and how his family is covering his legal costs as the 17-year-old faces first murder charge in the stabbing death of Austin McCaff at their Frisco track meet, all while allegedly living in a 900K rental home. Wells further clarifies TMZ campaign recipients are usually able to withdraw donations 72 hours after a donation is made, either in full or a specific amount. However, he said there are no certain scenarios in which a hold can be placed on a campaign to ensure proper verification in terms of service alignment. For example, he also said there's a chance a small reserve could be withheld to cover potential chargebacks and refunds, which sometimes happen in high-profile campaigns. He further notes 100% of the money raised goes to the recipient, and that Give, Send, Go does not skim from campaigns. Rather, those donations are allowed to make a gift to the site to ensure it remains free for all. Give, Go, Send has allowed fundraisers from all views of political and ideological spectrum, including campaigns from highly polarizing characters such as Luigi. He got a goddamn campaign. Are you kidding me? Luigi, who is caught on camera with a ski mask killing a CEO. I see the person, Troy, I see you backstage. Just hang tight. But people started a fundraiser for him. Because guess what? We have something that's called due process. Kyle Rittenhouse, Derek Chauvin, and this was during the BLM highlight, all with the belief that justice will be served inside the courtroom. So what are we talking about here? And now we have the judge, Carmelo Anthony judge in murder case, gets added security. FBI is investigating threats. Why? She's a Republican. And I don't think it has nothing to do with her political affiliations. Judge who reduced Carmelo Anthony's bond this week is getting some added security. TMZ Sports learned after law enforcement says she's been a recipient of threats following her decision in the murder case. The Collin County Sheriff Office told us Tuesday is beefed up protection around Judge Angela Tucker in the wake of her Monday choice to lower the alleged high school track meet killers. See, they keep saying killer. From 1 million to 250K. Court staff and concerned citizens reported the menacing remarks made against the official, and now its team of investigators as well as FBI are probing the matter. Additionally, the CCSO told us it is on a hunt for any party who has released private and personal information about the judge to the public. If the individual responsible is identified, potential charges could include unlawful disclosure of residence address, phone number, obstruction, blah, blah, blah. It is unclear exactly what the contents of the comments made against Tucker were, but the judge repeatedly turned her X page private shortly after Monday's hearing. Prosecutors said an attorney for Anthony, the 17-year-old who is facing one count of first-degree felony murder after he allegedly stabbed Austin McCaff during the dispute over a seat on April 2nd, had argued to Tucker a $1 million bond was unnecessary due to his client's lack of criminal history. However, the prosecutors asked for it to remain in place, but the judge sided and saying no, it should be lowered. And even Judge Joe Brown said that was fair. It should be lower because the $1 million was too excessive. And we all know he's on house arrest with an ankle monitor. But she's getting death threats, all types of threats. Guys, please hit the like button. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up.
Come on, man. Just follow back behind us. Just stay close, okay?
Carmelo, do you have anything that you'd like to say, Carmelo? Do you have anything that you'd like to say to the victim, to the family of the victim? Why were you armed, sweetheart? Carmelo, why were you armed at school? Explain your self-defense. How is this self-defense?
Excuse me.
Carmelo, is there anything you want to say to the community that's donated?
So, again, you don't listen. He did something that wasn't cool. Queen says Boy Scouts have pocket knives. Yeah. Jillian said Carmelo's guilty. Well, he admitted to doing it. So yes, he's guilty to. He said he stabbed the kid and he should have just shut up, right? But he said he did it in self-defense. And I don't want to sound like an echo chamber or be redundant, but it is deeper than well, he's a killer. It's deeper than that. What is going on across this nation? Listen, if you have a pocket knife and you using on someone, you better understand the consequences that come with that. Thank you, Ira. According to the co-founder of Give Go Send, has reported to TMZ that none of the money raised has been withdrawn yet. There you have it. There you have it. So what the fuck they talking about? Cadillacs and all this other shit. Thank you, Overstand. Okay, so let me see something here. How do I bring? I don't want to. Okay, wait a minute. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Okay, they dropped off. Okay, yeah, I wanted it to show like that. All right. So look, I did drop the link, but I'm still trying to figure out. Okay, there you go. Wait a minute. So let me try it again. Give me a sec. 2 cents.
Okay, there you go. There you go. Yeah, my mic was muted and I couldn't, it wouldn't let me unmute it.
Oh, okay. How are you?
I'm doing fine tonight. Yeah, I appreciate you letting me come up. Um, yeah, I just want to say that I think a lot of people they're trolling for one, and then the other people they're just out of touch in what's really going on. I'm from the East Coast, the North Carolina region, but I stay in Texas. So I got a little bit of experience on what's going on. Uh, if you understand what's going on with this track meet, I've never seen track meets and stuff that's conducted like they do it. And they keep saying they're thinking when it's a track meet, it's at a school. Because my track meets was at
Mm-hmm. Hello? Oh, he dropped down. I don't know what happened. I would let me just say this though, because oh, here he goes.
okay.
All right.
Yeah, it blanked out. Sorry about that. Could
No,
you hear me at all?
I can hear you now. I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I was saying like even in Texas, the track meets, you got to understand it's a 5A school. So it is very large. And that track meet, it's too big to have it at a high school per se. So people think it's just like it's a whole bunch of kids that getting out of school and stuff like that. Yeah, it's think of it as it's an event where high school people go and fans and stuff go. So yeah, I might carry something that I could possibly defend myself. You got to remember they're in Frisco, Texas. It's not too far from another prominent place like it's called Plano. And it shocked the hell. I mean, it shocked me when I was in that area because I was house hunting in that area at one point in time. I ain't never seen so many like well-to-do rich people in my life, bro. It was scary. I was like, no, I would never. No, 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 no. They chase money down there. It's a whole different ball game. I've been a lot of places in my life, but you got to understand that this boy is behind enemy lines. It's a whole different ball game. Everybody talking about what they would do, how they would do. No, thank God he had at least a pocket knife in his bag at that point in time. And it's not like he's a trained assassin to be able to go for the juggler or something like that. That's not what we saying. It was unfortunate that he stabbed him one time and the guy ended up bleeding out. It wasn't like he just said, I see this guy, I'm about to get him or something like that. And they're trying to make that out to be what it is. This guy is not doing any jail time. I promise you. It's not going down that way.
Um And so he might that is a big possibility. And that's what I'm saying. I think we all need to wait till more evidence come out. And Judge Joe Brown did say, listen, this is not going to the trial is not going to happen no time this year. The grand jury is in June, but the trial itself is most likely is not going to start until 2026. It's a process. It is a process. And what he did, listen, somebody died. People don't understand when you harm someone with a weapon, whether you claim self-defense or not, you're going to get locked up, right? However, if somebody dies, then that ups the ante to where you most likely will have to do prison time depending on the circumstances, and again, we don't know what transpired. There are people saying this, saying that, who claim they were there. The official evidence has not come out. No video, no nothing. But
Right.
somebody died, and that's very serious. And they died by the hands of Carmelo Anthony. And that's what we know for sure, right? So,
Right.
but
But that's understandable. Yeah.
right,
I mean, look, that's a
but
process.
Right, it's a process, but he should have a fair fucking trial. And all this calling him a murderer and a killer, I'm not going to label him that because that was not his intention. That was not his motive. He's a stupid teenager doing a dumb mistake or whatever the case may be. It was not intentional. So I'm not going to say he's a killer, he's a murderer or whatever, because he has to live with his actions. But everybody deserves a trial, whether it's Kyle Rittenhouse, Daniel Penny, George Zimmerman, the cops, all those cops that made national news, breaking the law in New York. Everybody deserves a fair trial, and I do want him to get a fair trial. I don't know what happened to 2 cents, but guys, listen, I'm about to close out. Oh, here he goes.
Last thing I heard was George Zimmerman.
Okay. I don't know why I keep popping in and out. Listen, I still gotta figure out a call. But listen, thank you for
Thank you.
hopping on. I really appreciate it.
Okay, I appreciate. Yeah, this is new to me too. This rest stream. Okay, I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Yeah, I have to figure out a call in. But anyway, guys, listen, thank you guys so much. I said I was not going to be up here long. I usually like to do 90 minutes, but I'm keeping it under 60. And check out this video that's premiering right after this. Just hit the link that's going to pop up on the screen. Something light, something fun on a Wednesday. But thank you guys for donating, for sharing, for liking, for listening, everyone in the chat, everybody on X. Shout out to everybody on X, honey. Yes, X is popping. And we'll be back on X hosting another X Space Part 2 Thursday night. So follow me on X at the real Dana #7. And let's do better. Let's do better with our words, with our content, with our research, and let's start talking about conflict resolution, because this is a epidemic of teenagers going wild. So thank you, everybody. Love ya. Bye.